like boom, like they barely caught him, But
Yeah.
now he's 5, so like before
Wow.
you know it, it's just like poof.
Yeah. Well, I've been having fun baby shopping. Anything for babies
Oh
is
yeah.
really cute.
So and do you know what
Yeah,
it is?
he's a boy.
Oh, cool. It's fun. It's fun shopping for a little boy.
Yeah.
All right. So what age were you inspired by music?
I don't remember really not having music in my life. Especially growing up in New York, just like being around hip hop a lot.
Mm,
That's something I can't remember not liking. And then when I was younger, it was like KRS-One and just like Rakim and kind of slower, older kind of hip hop, which
yeah.
many people don't know now.
Oh, I do.
um, but and I mean nothing against newer hip hop. I like all music, so but that's
Mm,
just what I grew up with. And then I mean, my mom was like big on music too. She used to like organize parties with like, musicians. She knew the Rolling Stones and stuff like that. So like she played
oh
music in the
wow.
womb when she was pregnant. And like I've always loved music. So
Yeah, me too. My dad got me a antique drum set when I was like 6, and taught myself, and I've just been playing, and it's been over 20 years now. I'm like, wow. And like I love all kinds of music too. Anything with a good beat.
yeah,
Is pretty much how I go.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so when did you feel you had to step up and be an activist?
So that I think I've had that inside me my whole life because I traveled a lot when I was a kid. So my parents are both from different countries and they both didn't live in the countries that they're from. And I was, born in New York and then traveled a lot. So I just like got kind of I feel like I got a bird's eye view of everything and I never really got like attached in the way like, that sounds weird, but like when you travel like every few months to a different
Mm,
continent, you don't really get into each culture or into each like cultural norm of like treating people a certain way or treating people badly or wanting to be popular or wanting to do this. You just kind of see what's there and you're just like, well, that's
mm,
messed up or that's not messed up or like based on your, I guess, morals. Like you don't get
yeah,
jaded as easily. If that makes, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
kind of like Navy brats. Like
Yeah,
kids that,
yeah,
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 you don't have time. It's like because if
yeah,
you make friends, then it's like you got to leave in heartbreak.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, and it's also like when I grew up in Switzerland, a lot of the schools that I went to when I was over there were, I mean, there's people from everywhere. There's people from Africa, there's people from, Arabic countries, there's people from Asian countries. So it's like so many different cultures, but people are basically just going through the same struggles. Like no matter who you are, I've been around really rich people, really poor people, really like everyone in between, every race, every, nationality, everything, like from such a young age that it's just people are all the same and they're all going through stuff. So it's just kind of
Yeah,
important
people
to, yeah.
people don't. I wish everybody had that mindset. Like I always look at the golden rule. Like just treat people the way you want to be treated. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like there's nothing else. We make things so complicated.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have a couple this or that's for you
Okay.
to pick from. Just a couple. Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac.
I know, right? It is a tough one though. I
Not for
mean,
me.
no, you're
No.
straight.
Tupac
I
was
get
my
it.
other KRS-One and Tupac were like my two like people that I listened to when I traveled around. So like for me that one's easy.
Yeah, and I guess if you're Tupac loyal, it's hard to be Biggie fan.
Yeah, well, it's ridiculous. When I was a kid, I literally would not listen to Biggie because of Tupac, which is it sounds so stupid now. Like literally, it sounds ridiculous, which is why like I don't fault any of these fans that get involved in all these like beefs between people because
Mhm.
I'm just like, oh, is that dumb ones? But I started listening to Tupac, sorry, to Biggie a little later, and I was like, oh, he was actually really positive, and he actually had kind of a good vibe. So I should have
Yeah,
probably listened to him. Still don't like Puff Daddy though.
yeah, I know. I forget what song the Biggie. I think Big Papa I was listening to, or it was one of the Biggie songs, and Puff's in the back, just really not saying anything.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I know he always gave me bad vibes. I don't like him. I don't. It's
yeah,
just,
and I have a feeling, he was behind some shady stuff.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yep,
I mean, I'm
yep,
sure they all were, after
yeah,
seeing the movies and whatever, but you never
yeah,
know what to really believe.
yeah.
Honestly, part of me still thinks that Tupac's alive. I really want to think
I
it.
mean I know a lot of people around him that I don't think so. Like
No?
they mourned him. They like I
Yeah.
think. I mean, I would understand it. Any celebrity who wants to get out of the limelight, I totally understand why they would do
Yeah.
that. But I mean, like I've seen pictures of his autopsy and stuff. Like that's hard
Yeah,
to, like that's kind of
yeah,
hard to fake. But I think, yeah, like Puff Daddy's, I think he's way more insidious and way more dangerous.
hmm
Because he's always been kind of like he's not like Suge. Like everybody hates Suge, but Suge's
yeah,
like, this is what I am. I am like this. I'm gonna put it in front. Like that's what you see is what you get.
hmm
But with Puff Daddy, it's just like it took a long time for people to start kind of saying stuff, I guess, about him.
yeah, yeah, because he's got that like sinister vibe.
Yeah,
You're
but he's
like,
like an
don't say anything
executive.
or he'll
Yeah,
come after you. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So Snoop or Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough call there, but I love them both. But yeah, Dre all day. Dre day.
Mhm. Yep.
This one's a no-brainer for me, but Eminem or MGK?
Eminem.
Yeah.
I've been kind of like Eminem's kind of been falling off my radar a little bit lately, I think. But yeah, I mean, I think MGK is talented, but
I think
Eminem's,
I think him going after Eminem really, he was trying to make it something that would make him popular, but it really
yeah,
didn't.
yeah, yeah. But I
Um,
think Eminem, like, I feel like like, okay, so when he came out, it's really weird because like people always talk about Eminem now. They're like, he's one of the legends. Like I've been listening to hip hop for a while when he came out, so he's still like a new person for me, which makes me just seem
right.
old. I am old, but like like So I and it took me a while to kind of warm up to him. But I liked the one thing I liked about him that it was really hip hop was he just didn't care what anybody thought, and he just
hmm
like did and said whatever he wanted. And more like as he's kind of like I feel like he's trying to hold on to some title or something that he doesn't need to because he already did
Yeah.
it, and he's
Yeah.
just like kind of molding himself to what people want and like trying all these different, like, I don't know, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just like the vibe that
No,
I
I get it. Yeah, and I think he has read comments, like if he
yeah,
would just not read anything about him and
yeah,
just do what he does, because when he first came out, he didn't have anybody to say anything. Like,
yeah.
he had
And it was
nothing
like
to,
Christian groups and stuff that were going
yeah,
against him, and like Marilyn Manson too, like
yeah,
it was like those people that were kind of going against him, and now it's just, yeah, I don't know, it's much easier, I guess, to read comments about yourself and everything like that, but
yeah. And you,
yeah,
you read the good, but you focus on the bad,
yeah,
and as great as he is, he's let it get to him and it's affected him. And, he even says it in his music. I don't know if he
yeah.
has anything else to talk about now,
Yeah, so that's why I think, I mean, no, I think maybe he should stop. Like maybe, like there's nothing if
Yeah.
you don't have anything left to say, you can stop
Yeah,
for a
really.
while, like until you have something to say
Yeah,
again.
I mean, he did the fastest rap, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you did it. You,
Yeah.
you set the record, whatever. We know you're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like Tom Brady, but
Yeah.
that's football. And I don't. He's on my team, and I don't want him to stop. So same with Eminem. I go back to the old days, and it's funny how he has changed too. Like his voice is so small, and
Yeah, compared to his old voice, yeah, he's much
hmm
better. Much like, and he went through like when he didn't have to stick with like the super offensive stuff. He went through a few good albums where he was really
yeah,
talking about stuff, but he was really talking about stuff. And then
hmm
the last kind of like few things that he's done, I just feel like he's trying to be something he's not, or like he's trying to make other people happy. Or
Did you have you ever heard the Bad Meets Evil album?
yeah, I love that album. That's
Honestly,
one of my
that's my
favorite
favorite.
albums.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Yeah,
Lloyd
because
Banks.
anybody that can go toe to toe with Eminem line for line is like Royce the 5'9". Like,
Yeah, Royce the 5'9" is
yeah,
awesome.
he's been around, but man, that really put him on the map.
Lloyd 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 Banks, Royce da 5'9", and, who's the other one that Proof. Those 3
Mm,
were, like, my from that group of people, I like them all more than NM. When just, like, they're
really?
yeah, I did. Like, I mean, he's obviously Eminem's super talented, obviously, he has a great body of work, obviously, he put them all on, but,
hmm
like, they were I don't know, I thought they were really good, all of them. But
Yeah,
Proof,
D12 was
obviously,
a little
not.
weird, but
Yeah, D12 as a group was very weird.
yeah, yeah.
Bizarre, and like them, they were very that was a very weird group, but, like, just Proof as an artist, like, I just thought he was very good.
So, what do you think Biggie and Pac would be doing now if they were still alive?
I don't know, I think they would've well, I think Pac would've probably grown a lot, he kind of
Yeah.
died in his, like, 20s angry kind of phase, and that's why, like, I think a lot of people connect to him when they're younger, and
hmm
then, like, when they grow up, they're like, maybe, like, grow out of it a little bit or grow out of that, hopefully, because
Yeah.
he was in that's a normal kind of phase that you go through when you have that kind of artistic sort of personality or just, like, that kind of personality. but I feel like I would have liked to see how he matured and just kind of went past that because he was super young when he died.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. He wasn't fully mature. Like
Yeah,
he was smart. He was
yeah,
definitely smart.
yeah,
But man, just to think of like collabs with him and Eminem, or like the
yeah,
great music that would have been, you know,
yeah, yeah,
would have been
yeah,
cool to see those two interact together. I bet Tupac and Eminem would have been buddies. You know,
yeah, yeah,
that same mindset.
yeah.
How was it working with Spice One? Speaking of Tupac.
Really good. I loved losing my mind when I was younger. Losing it, that song with
Yeah.
well, actually, both of the other people in that song have passed away now, which is really sad. But yeah, that was one of my favorite Tupac songs, oddly enough, when I was young. So, and I think Spice One, listening to his music is part of why I like rap faster and stuff like that, just like naturally, or I'm
Hmm.
a faster speaker because that's just like the kind of style that I always listen to, aside from the older New York stuff. So.
So is that who you pull your influence from to
I
rap?
think I think maybe without realizing it a lot, because like a lot of, I mean, if you think about Tupac songs, if you listen to a lot of Tupac songs, he's not very rarely is he the only person on his songs. So like
Hmm.
there's a lot of Spice One, there's a lot of, the other Outlaws are also that same kind of style.
Hmm.
So yeah.
It's crazy to think that Tupac was in Digital Underground, and because wasn't he just a dancer? Or is that
um
maybe am I fact
yeah,
checking?
well, no, I
Uh,
know there was a dancer who kind of like helped him out a lot with stuff, but yeah.
yeah, it's just weird. Did Spice One give you any dirt on Tupac? Anything?
No. No.
Like, guess what? He really no, I don't.
No, no, I don't think he's the kind of person who would do that. He's like really chill. He's just like I've met him a few times when we were in Vegas, and he's just like a very chill
Mm.
person, very nice person.
Do you fan out? When you meet certain people, is there any
So
celebrities that you're?
he was like, I got excited when I saw him the first time, but like because
Mm.
I was like, that's Spice One. And can I tell the story of what happened? You with Spice One? Okay. So Adam was not as much with West Coast rap as East Coast rap. So I was like, oh my God, that's Spice One, that's Spice One. And we were at a party, actually where we were staying in Vegas. Sorry, my mic just is my mic still on?
Yeah, yeah, I can
Okay.
hear
So and he's like to go talk to him. And he's like, have you guys seen Space One? Where's Space One?
you. Oh man.
And I think he actually did you call him Space One to his face? Yeah, he called him Space One to his face too. But he was super nice.
That's funny. Did he
Yeah.
correct him?
No, I don't think he did. Did he? No. Did he correct? No. Sorry, I realized I'm wearing headphones so he
I
can't
know.
hear.
I just thought it too. Yeah, that's always awkward. I'm the kind of guy that does that too. If somebody messes up my name, I'm like,
Oh,
whatever.
people mess up my names all the time. My last name and my actual name, and then Delyric Oracle, people mess it up. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna announce you as Alexandra Deschiel. Did I get that right?
yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yes. Damn, I should have. I don't want to mess it up right out of the gate.
No, yeah. Yeah, I'm used to people messing up my name from like
Yeah, people assume things with names. My wife's name is Candra, Candra, and she gets Cassandra. I'm like,
oh
you
yeah,
added letters.
yeah, people in America always call me Alexandria for some reason, and there's
Oh,
no I in my name.
yeah,
Like, I don't know where that comes from. I'm just like, I just ignore it. I'm just like, yeah, call me whatever.
yeah. They
I
just
don't care.
assume.
Yeah,
A lot of people just assume
yeah.
stuff nowadays. So, what do you love more, activism or hip hop?
Well, activism kind of created my hip hop. So, like, I
Mm,
mean, my first song was Gang Warfare, which was just like an explosion because I was like dealing with basically a friend who was going through the racist system that she previously had told me like she wasn't an activist. She was just like she happened to be forced to deal with it and like
mm,
have her kid taken away and all of this stuff. And then I was also dealing with like Mumia's situation, everything, and just like
yeah.
I'm getting so frustrated, and writing's always how I've gotten my frustration out. But that just
Mm.
like I just at that I wrote that song and I just had to like get it out. And then I shared it
That,
with some of my activist friends. They're like they started sharing it around, and that's how I
that's
started.
cool. And that's actually one I really liked. I was listening to Gang Warfare, and I was like, "Ooh, man!" And the powerful lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like,
the one of the songs I wrote just like in one sitting. Like those songs I feel like always work better. Like that just comes from somewhere
yeah,
else.
yep, yeah. It's who knows what divine,
Yeah.
source.
Yeah.
I know I'm a very creative person too. I actually started this podcast when COVID started. I was like, I know a lot of people in bands, and I was like, man, there's nobody getting the word out for music. Um, so why not put something out? So I got something positive from this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on here. You're the first girl I've had on, so
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
first woman, girl. You're not a girl. You're a woman. Right.
I don't get offended
You
by
know
that.
what I mean. You know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah, words aren't something that, like, is gonna offend me or something like that. I for me, like, with activism and stuff like that, I think there's, like, 2 different lanes of activism. There's people who, like, get really worked up about, like, words or language or, like,
Yeah.
accidents and stuff, and that's people who haven't seen, like, actual problems. Like, there's actual problems. Those are
Oh,
not actual
definitely.
problems.
No. Yeah, that's ridiculous. How do you stay positive in this negative world?
I don't know, I'm a very calm person, like, I didn't used to be, like, when I wrote Gang War like, back in that period of time, that's why I took a break kind of from music for a while because I, like, used to use it in a very, like, get my anger out,
Hmm.
but, like, I don't know, I just maybe it's because I get my anger out in music, or maybe it's because I just, like but I don't know. I'm a calm person generally, like, especially lately. I'm just, like I kinda went through a period where I wanted to find solutions to things instead of just kind of I don't know, can I swear on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And say bitch about them. So, like, I got into politics and stuff like that and started, like, looking like, "Well, what's the cause? Like, what's the solution for this?" And then I realized, like, a lot of activists don't wanna find the solution. I was coming up against them, and then it was just, like, there was a whole mess of things, and I realized, like, there's just, like, the best solution is kind of being as calm as you can and not being part of the, like, anger mob and,
Yeah.
calling out problems when you see them, but not people necessarily, like, or going after people or getting
Hmm.
angry, at individuals for things that they do or say or whatever.
One of the quotes that I don't know where I heard, but for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose a minute of happiness.
Yeah,
I always like that. It's simple
yeah,
and it's kind of saying the same thing, but people don't realize that. Like,
yeah,
that was a minute you lost of happiness.
yeah.
So, what is drama about?
So drama is something that actually that song particularly took me forever to finish just 'cause Spice One was attached. Like, he literally did his verse in, like, 2 seconds and sent it back to me, and I was just like it took me forever to finish it just 'cause I was like, I look up to him so much, so it was like
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted to say, but I just didn't know how I wanted to say it, but it's about, people who I feel like people who complain about drama the most tend to be the people who, like, kinda start it and then walk away, like, they create an explosion, and then they're just like,
Oh yeah.
Don't talk about drama," like, basically, "Don't talk about what I did wrong. Don't say anything about what I did," like, those kind of people, so that's what it's about.
That's cool. Yeah, I have teenage girls who are like, I hate drama, and then they're like, can you believe Tina said
Yeah.
fourth? Like
Yeah, yeah,
you love drama.
yeah, yep. And there's
Girl-
people who just, like, they just explode situations, like, they just act, like, reckless with other people's lives or reckless with other people's emotions, and they just, like, walk away and, like, "Don't talk about it." Like, that's
Yeah.
drama. Don't be dramatic.
Yeah. If only we could, just get everybody to just chill the hell out.
Yeah, yep. Well, I mean, if people realize that the only thing you can actually change is yourself and, the energy
Mhm.
around you. So, I mean, if you really wanna change the world or make it a better place, like, be nicer to people.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's all it
Just be
really
nice to
is.
people.
Um, what is your process for writing a song?
I don't really have one. I just, like either it kinda comes out, like, just and I just have to write. I go through, like, periods of where I'm in, like, the creative mood and then periods where I'm just, like, not in a creative
Yeah,
mood.
me
So when I'm in a
too.
yeah, when I'm in a creative mood, I just listen to, like, beats and, like, buy a bunch of beats or download a bunch of beats and just, like, go
Mhm.
outside and, like, with my notebook or my phone and just, like, write. And, that creates, like, a surplus of lyrics that I have that I haven't finished because I prefer writing to the actual process of everything else because that takes so much time and everything, but writing's just, like, where I go really creative. And then, like, I go through periods where I just like messing around with different beats or I just, like, don't even write. I'll
Mhm.
just, like, sitting in front of the, um, microphone and just kind of, like, put stuff down verbally, and then go to the studio, but yeah, I
How,
don't have a
how,
process. It's disorganized.
how do you get the courage to do it? Because I make songs on my phone and like, they're great beats, but then I'm like, I could put vocals to this, but then I'm like, I don't, what if it's stupid? What, you know what I mean? Like, I don't,
Yeah.
I admire you guys for putting it out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like, the first time that I started performing in America, I mean, that was probably the most nerve-wracking that I could get, but it was kind of like I believe that's when I had, like, a lot of, like, songs they were all, like, gang warfare kind of, so it was like I was saying
Hmm.
something, it wasn't about myself.
Right.
It was about, like, a message, so, like, I looked up, like, a group here that was doing hip hop shows, and I just literally walked in and did, like, a competition and, like, stood up there, and everybody looked at me, hated me in the beginning, and then, like, kind of I could see them coming around because like, what I was saying was I mean, it was true. Like, I think what I was saying was true. So, if you're
Yeah,
speaking truth, I think people resonate with that, and it's kind of like a rush in that way.
that's true. Yeah, I could see that. I guess it could also go the old other way if you really suck and they're going to tell you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think even if, like, there's certain things, like, there if you as long as you're in, like, a group of people who appreciate music,
Hmm.
there's, like and you're speaking something like, what you're saying is true, I think that's it transcends a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what's helped, like Beastie Boys, Eminem, like
Mhm.
they're white doing hip hop. Somehow Vanilla Ice didn't translate. It's just kind of funny.
No, because, I mean,
He
think about
did,
his
but he
song with,
didn't.
like, Ice, it was like a you can't first of all, Eminem addressed it. Like,
Yeah.
Eminem, like, addressed the elephant in the room, and, like, my old songs, like, what I used to do a lot was, like, I would use the fact that I was a white girl too, like, I'd be, like,
Hmm.
basically, like because back then, like, nobody was being an activist, everybody was just talking about, like, stupid stuff. There's, like, a period where hip hop just got kind of not like, not what it used to be and not what it is now. Like, now I feel like
Right.
it's back to activism again, but, like and so I'd be like, "Okay, like, you guys are all fighting with each other, that's great, that takes a lot of guts," but I'm like, the only person who has the guts to stand up to the police and, like, like, the country and, like, government and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and I'm a white girl, like, "What are you guys, pussies?" Like, I basically, like, goad people into taking action or get back into, like, activism by,
That's
point
good though. You know, if nobody had balls, where the hell would we be? Somebody's got to stand up.
yeah.
So I'm glad it was you.
It wasn't just me. There's a lot of activists that kind of were doing that, I think. I feel like, obviously, because now Kendrick Lamar and everyone became big, so obviously people wanted it.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely activism. Like Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
So activism. Like I have no idea what you're talking about, buddy, but the songs rock.
yeah. Sex Pistols.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of different ones that brought it out there, so it's cool. How do you know when a song is done?
Um, well, again, it depends on the kind of song. Like, with, like, Gang
Right.
Warfare, songs like that, like, they all got written in, like, one go, and it was done.
Hmm.
Um, I mean if it takes me too long to finish a song, I kind of just shelve it, basically, like, so because
Hmm.
if I start playing around with it, like what I did with Drama, I didn't, like, keep playing around with the lyrics and stuff like that, I just, like, shelved each version of the song until, like, I got it. I'll basically, I guess, keep going until I have a version that I do in one go, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
because I'm a graphic designer, which actually you saw my flyer.
yeah,
Did you like that?
yeah, I loved it.
It's really hard to stop. When you're
Yeah.
designing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, do I stop here? You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
like, and even then, like Adam, I sent it to him, and he was like, "The brick's on her face," and I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even see
Oh,
that."
yeah. No, I used to do, like, a lot of, like, design, like, myself for, like, all the covers and stuff. I had to
Mm,
stop because of that. Because with stuff like that, that's how I am. Like, with my songs and stuff like that, I just sometimes I just like, if I can't finish a song, I just use it as practice. So, like, that it's
mm.
just, like, it's just there. And maybe I'll use one of the puns from there or something from there, like, in the future, but it's just kinda, like, gets shelved. So I like yeah, I like doing it all at once. It just flows better if I do it like that.
Yeah, I think that's the sign of a true creator is knowing when to stop. Because you can keep going and reworking and.
Oh, no, I have for, like, therapy purposes, I have, like, songs that are literally, like I gave up on them being songs about halfway through. They're just diary entries that rhyme at some point, like, I just go and go and go and go. I'm like, "Okay, I got that out. Moving on."
Yeah, it didn't work for a song, but at least
No,
it's out of
yep,
your head.
yep,
Yep.
exactly.
So, do you play any other instruments or any instruments, I should say?
Guitar is something I used to play guitar,
Mm.
and I'm getting back into it again slowly. But, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I have drums and a keyboard and
Mm.
everything, but I don't really use it much. So, like, I use, like, the bongo drums just to, like, let off steam, but I don't play them. Adam can
Yeah,
play the drums. Can you? He can't? I thought you were playing them the other day. Okay, maybe he can only do it when he's high. I don't
You can
know.
just, yeah, yeah. I get that feeling. I know that, that all too well. I was in a reggae band, and that was part of the course. You know, like,
But he plays the saxophone, so.
oh, really?
Hmm.
That's cool. Yeah, I always wanted to play saxophone. Bass was another one. I can kind of drum on a bass, so kind of fake it. I don't know any damn notes. Guitar, my hands are too chubby and short, and I don't know how the hell people remember all that.
With me, it's just my hands hurt. Like because I haven't done it in a
Yeah,
long time. So like that's like I keep trying to practice, and then I'm just like, ow, like this
yeah.
hurts more than hurt. Yeah,
It's an unnatural
yeah,
position.
yeah.
You'd think they make a guitar more ergonomically,
Well, they did create something I've always wanted to try. It's like a cheat basically for a guitar where you like I don't remember what it's called, but it's like something you put over the strings and it's just like you're just touching buttons then. So you
Oh
don't have to
wow,
like contort yourself.
that's
But it's
crazy.
like Guitar for Dummies.
Yeah, for
Which
real. I always wanted to do a slide guitar, like Robert Randolph. I think I could do that.
yeah.
Just kind of drum on it, slide back and forth. Then I could probably play it.
Yeah.
So, how has your husband helped you in all this?
So I mean, he's been really amazing when I've transitioned to kind of music that's more like different things than just like causes because when I was like just doing it by myself, like I said, causes and things like that I feel really passionate about when I'm rapping about that, it's really easy for me to push it because I don't have to push myself, but I'm not
Hmm.
a type of person that's very good at like, hey, pay attention to me, like like that kind of I'm not that kind of person. So and Adam's like a marketing genius and just like pushing like he has
Yeah,
no
he is.
pushing everything. So he's kind of like been my pusher, been the like person, like putting me out there and like doing that. So
Yeah, I mean that's how I found out about you. He was on a podcast group on Facebook, and yeah,
yeah,
so I'm glad that it worked out. And that's I've gotten a couple people to talk to, and it's
yeah,
fun to meet new people. I love music just like you do, so it's neat
yeah,
to
yeah,
share it with everybody and just
yeah,
enjoy it.
yeah.
Um, so I had a question, which is bizarre that I had this question because this was before I knew you were pregnant. Is
Mm,
there any plans for expansion in the future for kids?
yeah.
Isn't that
Well,
weird?
yeah,
How did I know? Like, so I guess
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Having a baby boy, which I'm like obsessed with right now. Like that's like my pregnancy is like I think the only thing I'm paying attention to right now, which is so like yeah, I have like a bunch of songs I still need to finish. They're like half done and stuff, and it's just like it's so fun. Like I have all the apps which tell you like each week when
Oh yeah,
your
it's a
baby's
papaya.
yeah, and like give you little updates and yeah,
Wait, that's the funny part. Like, I saw a funny meme of Tom Brady kissing his first trophy, the Super Bowl trophy, and he's kissing it. And then the seventh one, he's throwing it over to the boat. They just he threw it to another member on the boat. So it's I love all my kids,
yeah,
but there's definitely that first one is like, oh my God, this is new. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah,
I'm
it's
like logging
fresh.
all my exercise and logging everything in my like app and stuff, and just like focusing on like what I'm eating and working out
Yep.
so that it's easy labor. I'm like, oh, like not easy labor, but I like interviewing pediatricians and stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the second one, if you have a second one, you'd be like, yeah, we're not doing all that. We're just gonna do it and hope for the best here and see what happens.
Yeah. See, I
I,
think that's why I've seen a lot of since I've been like kind of like somehow TikTok and YouTube know I'm pregnant, so they're showing me like pregnancy TikTok and pregnancy YouTube and stuff. But like I've been I've been seeing a lot of people say that, like your first one you're so like careful and you eat
mhm.
this and you do that, and like in the second one you don't. I'm wondering like maybe that's why second children like there's like a running joke about second children, like the first kids are like the perfect ones and like
Yep.
and then this maybe that's why they're like that
I
because
think yeah, the second one's trying to prove something,
yeah.
like get attention more,
Yeah.
you know, or they're the baby and they get more attention than the first one.
Yeah.
It just depends. How do you think motherhood will change you musically?
Um, I'm not sure because I've always kind of felt like a nurturing type of person. Like I care about everybody too much, which is where my activism comes from. So I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't seen yet.
You'd be like breastfeeding or
Yeah,
like trying to rap. Like, you
yeah,
done?
yeah,
Hold the baby. I got to rap.
yeah, No, I think that's funny. Like with like Cardi B, I don't know if you saw that video where she was like her son came in when she was doing her song and she's like,
No.
I thought that was really cute. Like I'm not usually a huge Cardi B fan, but I thought that was really cute. She's like,
Oh,
no,
that is cute.
don't want my son to hear that.
So you guys are hustlers, man. Adam sent me all the links for your stuff, and I'm like, man, what are you guys not doing? So why don't you tell tell me about Molly Vodka? 'Cause
So
look
that
delicious.
is actually, let me. Do you want to talk about Molly Bud? No, he doesn't want to. Okay, because that's that's more
That's
his.
his baby.
Yeah, yeah. So, you sure you don't want to talk about Molly Bud? Okay. He's happy over the corner off screen. So yeah, I mean that's more his baby. But yeah, that's something that's he kind of worked out with a friend of ours who's also doing Click Jam and
Yeah,
just
that was the next thing I was
with
going to talk to you about. Click Jam.
yeah, Click Jam. That's just it's been a work in progress or that's kind of steadily going and going for the last few years. It's a social media app for musicians, people who like music, venues, anything. You can post your YouTube stuff there. You can post Spotify.
Hmm.
You can post, and there's no like censorship for like pushing stuff. Facebook, if you share things too much or you promote your stuff too much, they'll they'll lock it down. This is
Yeah,
for that, so you can do that.
man,
Over there.
sign me up.
Yep.
Yeah, I like posting my stuff a lot. Yeah, Facebook does that. I'm like, "Wait, I got to promote. What am I supposed to
Yeah,
do? I'm
like
sitting
I
at
said,
home.
I'm not huge on that, but Adam does that a lot, and I can hear him, like, getting frustrated because people will Facebook will put him in Facebook jail a lot.
So Click Jam. I was thinking it was because I do Music Maker Jam on my phone, which is like a music making song, song
Yeah.
making, whatever. So is there that to it, or no? It's just like a
No, no, no,
social
it's
media.
a social media for
Oh, okay,
for musicians, all types of people that are involved in
that's
music
really
or just
cool.
like it. Yep.
Yeah, that's right down my alley. Um, is there like if somebody wants to join a band, like you know what I mean, like job posting kind of things, or
Yeah.
I'm sure it's still all work in progress.
Yeah, and there's still a lot that's coming. COVID kind of paused everything, and then one
Yeah,
of the investors had a death in the family, so there's just like been a lot of stuff, but there's a lot coming still. So
that's cool. I'm excited to see what that comes out to be.
yep.
Um, and then you have a Bengal cat. Is that?
Yes. He's
I
very
know she. Is
actually.
it she?
One
He.
second. Yeah.
He was in the background earlier. I was like, oh, he's trying to influence us already. Look at that.
Hang on. He loves being in this room. He's not allowed to be in this room. So he always, whenever I open the door, he comes into this room. Oh,
Yeah, I saw him on Instagram, and I was like, oh, he's pretty.
yeah. Okay.
He's like, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna see how he gets along with the baby. He's not gonna be almost fell over.
Oh,
Allowed to run the
that's
baby right away because he I feel like he's gonna be jealous. So
you're
we're just
right. You know what? I didn't even think of that.
yeah.
Oh, man, what would you do? I mean, I guess if you got to get rid of
Oh,
him as
no,
much
no.
as that. No.
No. We're just gonna keep them separate. I mean, he's not aggressive. Like he might like if he gets close enough, he would scratch, but we're not gonna let them close enough. We'll just leave him. Like right now, we have the bassinet in the bedroom, and then we have we're changing the studio into a nursery. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word.
I know. I was
Pregnancy.
starting to think of it too.
But yeah, so like these two rooms we can both close off. So he'll stay out in the living room. He's got his wheel out there. He's got a bed. He's got all his. He should be good. He'll be fine.
How's he influencing cat culture?
I don't. I don't know. But he's got his Instagram is crazy, and it's all cats. Like literally, they're all cats.
Oh,
The people
really?
that are following him, yeah, and
He's
dogs.
pretty. He's pretty though. He's
Yeah,
definitely pretty. Is
yeah.
he what kind of cat is he? Is he
He's a Bengal Savannah mix.
what does that mean?
So
So like
Savannahs are the ones that are like super tall,
mhm.
and then Bengals are the ones that are super long. So he's like Bengals are like fourth generation Asian leopard. So it's 4 generations ago.
Wow.
It was yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Is he gonna get bigger, you think? Or
No. He's done growth.
he's that size.
Yep. Yep.
Do you like collaborating with people more than making your own stuff, or?
Um, no, not
I
really.
know, right?
Because like there was a period where like I was so picky with people I collab with. Like, and I go back through some of the stuff. Like, I was going through my old computer. I was like, wow, these people were really good and really talented, and probably way more talented than I was at the time. But like, I didn't want to collab with them because they were just like, like, I didn't like rapping about like smoking weed or like
Mm-hmm.
partying or like it's just like not what I was. I wasn't feeling that. So like, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't my. I was like, very activisty like back then. So it was just that. And it was just like I was listening to some of the stuff. I was like, I should have done some of this, but I just didn't. I don't know. I'm like, I'm really picking. I
Hindsight.
have to feel something when I'm doing it, and
Yeah.
like, I feel like if someone is picking what the topic is, and like, it's just not as authentic to me or something. I don't know.
Mm, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. Alive or dead, who would be your dream collab?
Tupac.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Would you? It'd be a
I've
lot of
gone as
pressure,
close
wouldn't
as
it?
I can with well, I don't know. I feel like he's just so creative and so, like, into, like, what he's doing and cares so much about the
Mm,
music. It would need to be, like, in the studio with him, I feel like, for it to work and, like, get it done in the studio, like, that day.
yeah.
Otherwise, I would never finish it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine Tupac in COVID times. Like,
Yeah, I can't imagine him wearing a mask.
yeah. What would his mask say?
He probably wouldn't wear one. I
Fuck
can't imagine
COVID or
Strips wearing
something.
a mask either.
Man, what a crazy time, isn't it? Such a
Yeah.
crazy world.
Yeah. It's kinda good for I mean, in it like, for pregnancy, it's not too bad because, like, I feel much safer with the baby, like, you're not supposed to the baby's not supposed to get, like you're not supposed to get a flu or obviously COVID, but, like,
Mm,
cold or anything, and everybody's washing their hands, everybody's using masks, everybody's, like, wearing gloves and stuff, so
that's
it's very
true.
sanitized in the world right now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for germaphobes, they're loving it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're breeding agoraphobia though, I feel like everybody's just gonna be
Yeah.
scared to go out.
Well, not here. In Arizona, it's kind of it seems like almost aside from the masks, like, people here haven't changed their behavior very much. Like, they're golfing, they're going to movies, they're going to restaurants, they're doing like, if you go to, like, Old Town here, which is, like, where everybody kinda goes out,
Hmm.
that is a crazy area to drive through because nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody everybody's walking around, going to clubs, doing whatever, like, it's just
Jeez.
but the weird thing is, like, we have the same amount of cases as California. So it's
Yeah,
just I don't know.
I don't know. I've talked to people that have had COVID and like it seems really choosy, because like
Yeah,
they'll be close to somebody, but they got it and they didn't.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
and I know people have died from COVID complications, and, like,
mm,
it's and then there's, like, younger people that sometimes get serious, like, will die, and I don't know, it's weird. It's
yeah,
very
it hit my family. My son, who's 5, had it
oh, wow.
first, and yeah, and that was like, ugh. And he has asthma, and but he came out. He was still jumping around, playing like it was normal, kind of like a cold.
Yeah,
And then, sure enough, my wife ended up getting it. When you have a big household like we do, it's like you got it, I'm probably gonna get it, and then I got it.
yeah.
Luckily we all came through. My wife had asthma and breathing problems with it. I had to take her to the hospital a couple times, but
Yeah,
luckily, you
Adam's
know,
mom had it, and she has respiratory issues, so
mm,
kinda worried about that. They seemed really disorganized with it, though. They told her
yeah,
that she had it, then they wouldn't give her there's, like, something that you can get for virals or there's something that this, like I don't remember what it was.
mm,
Was it antivirals? Yeah, that will
mm,
help, and they said that they wouldn't give it to her unless it was, like, worse, which is ridiculous because it only works in the first 24 hours, like, of
yeah,
getting it,
that's
so,
bizarre.
and then they said suddenly because she didn't have a temperature, she was off the quarantine list, even though she just has tested positive, so, oh, that was in
Wow,
Maryland. I don't know, that was
yeah, that's
weird.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big guessing game. Everybody they wonder why we're so confused, but yet no one's giving us like do this,
Yeah.
stick to this.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you could do this, but if you don't, we're not gonna do nothing.
Yeah. Well, I was being pretty careful when my parents were here the first time because they went to Europe in the middle of COVID and then they came back. So there was a
Oh
period where
wow,
like I wasn't as worried about it because like my bigger fear was like my parents, I wasn't around anybody else. So like if I got it, it
right?
wouldn't have been the end of the world. But like when my parents were here, I was careful, and now, like, they're back and now I'm pregnant, so I can't get COVID. I mean, like, I could get COVID, but
Yeah,
hopefully I don't get COVID, and I can't have the
yeah,
vaccine because 'cause I'm pregnant, so but they both had the first round of the vaccine, so
Yeah, that's another scary thing. My mom and my daughter, my oldest daughter, they both have had it because my mom's a nurse and my daughter works at a pharmacy, ironically. So I guess they both had to get it, but it's like, you know,
Yeah, I've heard the
hopefully,
second round of it is pretty brutal on people. So I'm a
yeah,
little. My parents are getting the second round next week. I'm a little worried about that.
yeah. It's like you want people to be safe, but it's still scary.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy times. What a world. Yeah, I was in my car the other day and I lifted up the middle console. I had like 10 masks to
Yeah, me
choose
too.
from. I'm like,
My masks. Yeah,
where the hell are we?
that's literally where I keep my mask. That's my mask drawer.
Yeah, isn't it weird? You're like, oh, which one today?
Yeah.
And I work at a convenience store now, so and I'm a essential worker, but I get to see people come in with no masks, with masks. It's
Well,
yeah,
yeah, here people like people who work in the stores, like it's like they got sick of wearing masks, so they just don't wear them. And I'll like come in because I forget my mask all the time. Like I run in and I'm like, wait, something's off, and I'm like, oh crap, and I run back.
yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm like, no, I'll get it. I'll get it. But they're just like they don't care. I mean, or they're sick of arguing with people, or they just don't care.
Well,
But
we at first we were supposed to tell people when they first came in, like, hey, you got to go get a mask. But now they were like, leave people alone,
yeah,
whatever. Don't confront anybody.
yeah.
It's like, okay, well then why the hell am I wearing this thing?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying, like, some of the people, like, in the Circle K down the street, they'll, like, never be wearing their mask, one of the guys in there, and then, like, in some of the stores, they'll, like, wear it underneath like,
Yeah,
their nose, which is
yeah,
what's the point of that? I
yeah,
don't know how useful masks are, if they're not useful, but, like, when I'm pregnant, I just feel more comfortable wearing a mask, just like it feels like
yeah.
a barrier, so I'll.
Are you nervous to? Are you going to have the baby at the hospital or?
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I've kind of, like my parents basically said, "Yes, you are." Because thinking about, like, home, because I mean, I don't have any complications yet, like, I've done the anatomy scan, I've done the chromosome test, like, there's the placenta's where it's
That's
supposed to be,
good.
everything's where it's supposed to be, there's nothing, knock on wood, like, wrong, so I could probably have, like, a home birth or, like, a midwife, because they have
Mm,
epidurals, and they have, that they
yeah.
can take with them, and I'm a little worried about not the COVID aspect of the hospital because it's a different wing, but
Hmm.
I'm worried about, just, like, doctors, the way that they can treat women sometimes in hospitals, like, get
Yeah.
forceps and induce labor and do all this stuff that's, like, not actually
Yeah.
beneficial to the baby. It just hurries it along because that's how
Mm.
they wanna do it, and that kind of, makes me a
That
little
that
nervous.
does. I hate to tell you, but that does happen.
Yeah,
you
no, I
know.
know, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's everything's a timeline. Everything's money. Ugh.
Yeah. And, like, also C-sections and stuff, and, like, I don't wanna set off a chain reaction of, like, stuff that they do where they induce labor and then they, like,
Hmm.
do all this stuff that causes a problem with the baby, and then they have to do a C-section, and it's just
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely don't want that.
yeah.
Well, I'll let you go. I really appreciate you coming on here. What do you want? Is there anything else you want people to know about you?
Yeah, so, yeah, definitely, I mean, check us out, Lyric Oracle everywhere and Lyric Entertainment, if you wanna talk to Adam and get help with anything promotion-wise or anything like that, and like Jam and Molly Vodka as well, Delyric Entertainment, and then, yeah, I have a book that I just re-released, which we didn't talk about, but I'll shout that out quickly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Science.
You can. I
Yeah.
don't mean to hurry you. I'm not
No,
trying
no,
to hurry you
no, no,
off, but
no, 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 it's I will have to go to the bathroom soon anyway because 'cause I'm
that's
pregnant.
what I figured.
Yeah,
Adam told me. He warned me.
yeah, I literally have to go every 2 seconds, it's embarrassing. But, yeah, Science of Satisfaction, Alexandra Dashiell. It's basically like a combination of everything that it can help lead to happiness that I've kinda studied in my master's degree and stuff like that, and it's, from all different disciplines, so, like, neurology, psychology, biology, like, everything, but put into a very easy to understand, easy to read, easy to implement
Hmm,
kind of, guide, so
that's cool. All right. Let's see. What else is there? I think we've said everything,
yep.
huh? Pretty much.
We even showed Saki. He even got a cameo.
Yeah. He was walking in the background. He was good. I even saw Adam's arm. Grabbed
Yeah.
him. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I'll send you guys the link when this is all good, and we'll go from there.
Thank you. It was
Thank you
awesome.
for hanging with Nate the drummer.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All righty. Have a good night.
You too.
All
Bye.
righty. Bye bye. All right, guys. So that was Delyric Oracle. If you guys go to anchor.fm/N8 the drummer, you can hear bonus music that I have. I have 3 songs from her, and you're going to like them. If you like rap, you'll like them. So check her out, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Rock on.
Hanging with Nate the drummer.